I've got a question here, or a statement from Stevie, saying only blacks can and should do music. I take they're referring to gospel, because only they understand, the things of slavery. And I guess this question gets to the heart of cultural appropriation, right? I guess, and as a white middle class privileged man, I get nervous around wanting to do the right thing. I think a lot of people like Stevie here are almost certainly wanting to do the right thing. But I hear you saying that as long as you're telling your story, you're avoiding that cultural trap. Is that right?
Exactly. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Sound check. Check 1, check 2.
As long as you're telling your story, because at the end of the day, a lot of the slave songs, and again, except for when you're talking about words or stories that are specific to an experience, but when you're talking about spirituals, as far as I'm concerned, or as long as I know, we're all human. We have these human tendencies that allow us to hurt, and that allow us to feel alone, that allows us to feel oppressed, that allows us to feel not good enough, that allows us to feel like we need to overcome. So when we understand songs for what is it doing, what does it mean, then if you can sing "We Shall Overcome" when you know what oppression feels like, when you've experienced those things. And if you haven't experienced it, then either you are singing it in a place of empathy to say, you know what, I'm tired of seeing the oppression around me, and I'm doing something about it, and I'm going to join with my oppressed brothers and sisters and sing along, then you are not appropriating. You are appreciating. These are the things, what I'm saying is if you take the music and you bring it into who you are and why you are saying. I say soul singing, my definition that I always lead with is soul singing is the unapologetic, passionate communication of who you are, what you believe, and how you feel about it. The thing that makes it so profound in the Black American music is that I'll say words are not just weighted, because, we'll say in the performative sense, I love you. I need you, right? That's weighted. No, in the Black American music, words are loaded, because when they're weighted, the weight has all of the experiences behind you. When you say, I love you, that love is actually demonstrating all of the different experiences that make up what that weight is. And as a result, it has a certain sound to it, right? So it's always bringing the experiences into the phrasing. And this comes again back to slavery, when you can't use that many words to articulate. You can't be so detailed about how you feel about who's treating you bad, right? Yeah. So then you start to understand, you start to get these subtleties, these cultural isms where you'll look, right? A look will be like, okay, you don't even have to say nothing, right? All of these things. And I think that, I do think that this is something that is culturally shared by social demographic, more so than race, particularly social economic demographic. When you are in environments where you are not the powered majority and you cannot speak freely, you have to have these code languages, regardless of your racial ethnicity or your ethnicity. There's a move against using the word race because we're all in the human race. But regardless of your ethnicity, you have these human traits where you're like, okay, wait, kids do it all the time with their parents. They think they're slick. They should know that we wrote the book on that. But they think they're slick, and they'll try to be making code words as if we don't see them or hear them, right? Yeah. So it's that same concept, and that's the kinds of things that are just being maintained within the music. That's that tradition for those that are singing within that tradition. That's what they are bringing into the music.